And welcome, folks, to our international podcast, Below the Belt. How are you folks doing? We are here. We're a couple minutes late, but we are pleased to be joining you live from the mining town of Linden. And we got a very special guest today. Folks, we are boots on the ground. Who Vex News? We outside. And we got a special guest just for you folks. We're in the mining town of Lynn, and do let us know if you're receiving us loud and clear. Wherever you're joining us from, Michaela Andrew Coates, we see you there, and Courtney October, or the other folks who are joining us. Wherever you're joining us from, let us know if you're receiving us loud and clear. That's how we want to be received. Good folks, good to have you here with us, guys. Really glad that you folks can spend this time with us. And we have a special guest with us today. We're going to be talking about a couple of things happening in the region of Region 10 and the mining town of Linden. Folks, lots of stuff happening in this region. I had a long drive up today, a very long drive up. Lots of things happening on the Linden Highway, if I may say so myself. A lot of things happening in June Cameron. We see you there in Vincent Henry. All the other folks who are joining us. Good to have you folks with us today, guys. We are underground in Linden, in the mining town. We're in Region 10. I've come home, my good people. I have come home. I've arrived. Good to have you with us. Wherever you're joining us from, share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. Lots of stuff happening here. Very active. I hope the township making some money. Very active. And again, we're going to be talking to the regional chairman, Mr. Deron Adams. And I had to make sure I got the spelling of his name like Deron with one R. Don't want to be spelling the regional chairman's name incorrectly in his town, in his hometown. Don't want to do that at all. Guys, great to have each and every one of you with us. You all know how we do it. Don't wait, share the live, smash that emoji button for us. Good to have you with Guile. And I am going to Congress. Folks, can you hear us clearly? Do let us know if you're hearing us clearly. Do let us know if you guys are hearing us clearly. Yes, we're on the move. I am Natasha Congraves. Good day, Diane Graves Zandy and Uverne Henry. Good to have you, Uverne. And all the other beautiful people who are joining us. Good to have you folks as well. Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Those technicians who are on the job today. Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear, good people. Do us that big favor and do let us know if you're receiving us loud and clear. It's that kind of day when everything seems to go missing just when you need them the most. But good to have you people here with us, guys. Really glad you could join us. First and power, that's how we say it. We gotta get moving, guys. We gotta get moving. Good to have each and every one of you here. And Owen Don Cook says loud and clear. Good to have you with us, folks. We are in Linden. And guys, we're overlooking the waterways here, the Demwara River that runs through Linden. And we are on the Mackenzie foreshore looking across to Wisma. And it's a beautiful day here in Linden. We love it, folks. We love it. Gilali Cox says she's hearing us loud and clear. We're so happy about that. Andrew Caleb is here and Maxine Still is here with us as well. I have we also I see Debbie Hohenkirk has joined us and Gwyneth Anderson. Folks, share the live. The regional chairman is going to be with us in a little bit. Selena Fraser, I see you are here as well. We're going to touch on a couple of things in the meantime. Marlon Thomas, I'm in Linden, folks. I'm in the mining town of Linden. Yep, the 9 bucks side here, folks. Right? People mind the children in the mining town. Right? I don't mind being a royal today. I don't mind being a royal little bit. And get a little mining. Eileen Griffith Martin Ellis is here with us, and I see Chin Singh is here. It's good to be on the ground in Linden, folks. JG, and to be able to benefit from the hospitality of the regional chairman. I'm sitting in his palatial office. We're going to be talking with him about a couple of things. I see a very beautiful map here. I think I might have to take it. Very creative. What I've done with this map, and I just have to take it with me. This Region 10 map. So if it goes missing, folks, it's not me. But good to have each and every one of you here. I know that Marion Thomas is going to be very jealous, especially. I know Marion's going to be very jealous that I'm here in Linden. Marion is going to be tremendously jealous that I'm here. And all the other folks who are in the diaspora who are from Linden, I'm seeing one of the counselors has stepped in to say hello. Greta Braffett is here. Greta Braffett Walton is saying hello to us, guys. A very good day to each and every one of you. Darren Crawford is here with us as well, and I see Marlon jealous. Marlon says, "Go over to Wisma, please." Yep, yep. We can do what we gotta do. We can do what we gotta do. Easy peasy, Marlon. One step at a time. That's how we're taking it. But good to have each and every one of you, the hundred of you tuning to our podcast. Today we're watching the beautiful Deron River. I almost said Essequibo River, the beautiful Deron River. You know, there's a poem by Edgar Metahauser, a river runs through it. I hope I get the poem right. Edgar Metahauser, a Guyanese poet. The title of the poem is A River Runs Through It. Maybe he was talking about Linden. The Deron River runs right through the township here. And, you know, I'm fascinated that these boats that I left here when I was a child, all about 2 years, they look like, you know, time has stood still. And one of the things I love to see is the metal railing where the guys put that metal plank and push them into the river when they're after they fill and moving off. That's to me a very iconic sight. You know, you're in Linden, I'm home. We don't care what's happening now. You know, Yvonne, good to see you. Yvonne says I'm also sorry I'm not there. It's hot outside, I can tell you that. It's hot outside. Let me see what the weather is doing in Linden. Let me see what the weather doing in Linden. It was a wonderful drive up. Just in the outside. I don't know how people could jump in the office all day. That's not we. We like to be outside and on the ground and engaging the folks. Let me see what they're telling us here. Let me see what the guys are telling us here about Linden. I want to know what's happening in Linden. We're really glad we have each and every one of you folks. Really glad we have all of you beautiful folks here with us. And they're telling us, weather-wise, it's 31 degrees in Linden. They say it feels like 39. Be accurate, folks. Weather.com, that is. It's 31 degrees outside where we are in the mining town of Linden. And weather.com tells us it feels like 39. And there's an 18% chance it's going to rain. It did rain a little bit when we were coming up. But we're not going to fret. It's a wonderful day to be outside. Rain or shine. Boots on the ground. That's how we do it. Boots on the ground. That's how we do it, good folks. And that's how we'll keep on doing it. Again, you know, believe it or not, the weather has just been revised. We'll sit fast, yeah. Right? It has just been revised right before our eyes. Folks are telling us it's 27 degrees outside, but it feels like 34. But the chances of rain has increased rapidly. 73% chance that it's going to rain into the afternoon. And that decreases as the afternoon progresses. But as it stands right now, there's a 73% chance it's going to rain. How are you beautiful folks doing? What's for lunch and how are you folks doing at your end? Can't believe Linden, did you? Can't even ask you come to Linden. We just covered Linden. Linda Thomas. Linda Thomas is hot all over. I believe you. I believe you, Linda Thomas. I believe you. Yep. I see that update there, Jane Ogle. Jane is telling us the Bishop says, no money for all boys 10 squatters. Yep. Different strokes for different folks. Different strokes for different folks. And I guess we have to tell you we have no apology to sing that. That's how them boys sing. You see, we're watching this emerging apartheid state, you know. We are watching very closely the emerging apartheid state. The folks on the ground here, there is statutory meeting. It's on today. I've come in the middle of that. I wanted to pick some of it. But like we move in a little further. It took us a little while to get it up here. Like we move it a little further out. We have that impression. We moved it a little further out, folks. We took a little bit of time. Didn't want to speak too much. You know, we're trying to live by a road. We're preaching. We try to practice what we preach. Right? Slowing down so we can arrive alive. So we took our time and come home to got on a couple seconds late, but we are happy to be with you. We think we dropped a piece of our equipment in the waste, so we send back the vehicle and rush in. But we're here nonetheless, folks. We are here and we're fired up and we are ready to go. As we were driving up, there's a lot of stuff happening on the Linden Suesdale Highway. A lot of your highways are going to go back to the regional chair. What's happening out here? Right? And these are front parts. What's happening out front here? One of the things I want to question the regional chairman about, and guys, I'm telling you, it's good to be outside. It's good to be in Linden. I want to wrap up my business because I want to sample some of the good cooking of that little fantastic eatery by the. It's 4 corners or it's 5 corners? By the Plenty Corners Junction. Good to have you, Donna McDonald and Sharika Phillips, Karen Clark, and Linda, and all the other wonderful folks joining us. We trust that you guys are great today. We trust that you guys are great. And let me circle back to a couple of things before we touch base with the regional chairman. We are in his municipality. Well, we are in his town. We are in his region, Region 10. Right? And I'm correcting myself because the mayor will have purview of the township of Linden, while the regional chairman has the wider expanse of the entire Region 10 to administrate. We're gonna boys trying with him, but we ain't gonna allow that. We're not gonna allow that. Folks, I want to touch on a couple of things that we spoke about this morning because it's so important. And let's start with the fact the amount of cocaine that is winding its way through the streets in this country of ours. The amount of cocaine. Good fortune, Kano intercepted 2 men, William Mettlehauser and Anthony Cadogan, with cocaine within the last 72 hours. In addition to that, folks, at Bagelstown, Latram, Parmish, and Mohammed Yusuf Passat, they're apprehended too when their vehicle was intercepted with what the folks call 2 bricks. That's how they refer to it. Let me look back at the notation, and I'm almost certain that I'm right. Yeah, 2 brick-like parcels. In both instances, 2 brick-like parcels of cocaine. And then at Atlanticville, Roy Thomas was found with cocaine in his crotch. Folks, since them boys come back, look how the coke flowing. And this is the small fish, you know. These are not the big ones. These are not the intellectual artists. These are the little cockabellies. Sheena Hazel, these are the little ones. The cockabellies. These are them sharks. These are them whales. Gully Gum is the small ones. Yes, the small ones. Not the big ones. It's them little cockabelly and 4-eye. That is the one that they catch him. But we want the intellectual artists. You know, we're telling you guys when the folks from the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, work with Anil Nandilal, the installed Attorney General, one of the things they ask for is convictions, not only arrests, trafficking in persons, trafficking in narcotics, among other things. You can see some arrests, but then, you know, this is Guyana. Y'all gonna say? We're really average. This is Guyana. Case files and go missing, and then some cases, folks go on bail, and some cases take a long time to be heard. A long time to be heard. Because you know why? This is, you added the rest there. Nicola Daniels, good to see you, and I see Nicola has joined us, and Shelly Douglas, Greg Anderson. Wanda has articulated it superbly. Greta says, distraction for the big ones to pass. It's true. because we still don't know who are the set who allowed that big set, the big fishes to Belgium to pass and the big fishes to the Netherlands to pass. We still don't know. The investigation is still out. The jury is still out on that one. Folks, the jury is still out on that one. We understand how these folks tend to operate, you know. You think you understand them? Oh, they'll surprise you every time. They will surprise you every time. Them is different. Very, 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 very different. Carl Fortune, we see you. Sandrine Dale, we see you. Dennis, Marcia James, we see you as well. And Beryl and Nicola, Gwyneth, great to have each and every one. You folks, wherever you're joining us from, share live, we apologize again. We were rushing to come in. So we even dropped a piece of our equipment somewhere. We got to retrace our steps now. But it's all good, folks. It's all good. We can get through it. And just great to be in the mining town. Really great to be in the mining town. Good to see you, Gwendolyn, Alonzo, and Susan Kanzias, Beatrice Selby, and all of you beautiful, fantastic folks. The hundreds of you who are joining us from around the world. Let us know what you're having for lunch. Let us know how the weather is where you are. Let us know how you're doing. Smash that emoji button for us and share the damn live. By the Lama, good to see you. Robin Leander, I ain't seen in a long time. Wherever you owe we forgive you. Wherever you owe we forgive you. Vanessa says, and now come. Vanessa, the silver said, and now come. How you folks doing? And we were just walking into the room, you know, this man being really tongue. It's a different story. And you see voice gone. Karen Bailey, how you doing? Paula Mattis and all the other fantastic folks out there. We're holding for the regional chairman. But good to see some other councillors stopping by. Some senior and some junior. And I'm looking at one Mark Goring, who is in what kind of color is this? Is this that is not blue. That is yellow color. That's teal. It's one of my favorite colors. So I know teal. So as Mark is here, I'm going to chat with Mark. He's going to tell us what's happening in Linden, and why you folks when you come back home, because I know lots of folks from the diaspora tune into us. Why you folks should perhaps rediscover Linden. But I love Linden, love it. You know, I choose to be born here. I told my mother, born me in Linden. So Mark, let me make up, and you can give a shout out to the folks who have joined us. Folks, we have Councillor Mark Goring with us, and we are privileged. Mark looks bright. He is full of smiles, and you can tell Linden is treating them well. He's enjoying the good life of Linden. Mark, how are you doing?
Hi, Sharat. Good afternoon to you, to the listeners. I'm now recovering from cold, so my voice is now coming back. Right, and one of my coaches said it's more like voice deep. But for Linden, we are happy people in Linden. Linden is home to a lot of persons. Linden is home to some of the most athletic persons within this country that leave these shores. Anything good starts in Linden. Mashimani, Tongdi, you name it, starts in Linden. And we are proud people, we are resilient people, and we continue to show our strength wherever we go. But in terms of what's happening in Linden, there's a lot that's happening in Linden socially, politically. As you know, today is our statutory, and we are currently discussing matters. Some of those matters that we're discussing, one such matter that is at the heart of the people is the Bamia Primary School.
Oh yes, yep.
Right? We would have discussed that matter at length today. We know that the project would have stalled for 2 months. However, we were told at statutory a few moments ago that the project will continue tomorrow. We are yet to receive a report from the consultant. For me, I raised a point in not getting enough information from the consultant from the inception. My concern was the consultant is working for the council. They're supposed to be reporting to the council. The council represents the people. When they report to the council can update the people. And if
Mm-hmm.
those information is not forthcoming, I will want to believe the well, let me don't say that on here because I have to.
We won't say anything. You have to walk back on. Go ahead.
But we are promised those reports. One councillor would have raised the point in if they're gonna start back the project, we would want to see rescheduling the project. How much work will be put in? We understand that a total of 8% of work should be completed every month.
Uh-huh.
We know that it will not finish. We know that the projected amount will not be finished at the end of this year, but we await that report to see what will take place within that time. Of course, one the council would have asked that we see if this project going to start. One, we want to see doubling up of material on ground. Two, we want to see a doubling up on the workforce.
Mm-hmm.
Three, we want to see an increase in work hours to make up for those last time. Right, this school is very important for the Amelia's Ward Bamia area. That is a vast scheme whereby it have been developing rapidly, and the children in that area is being deprived because they have to come to long to Amelia's Ward, some in Lower Amelia's Ward to Amelia's Ward Primary School, which we know currently is is not serviceable to students. I went there, I visited myself, and I believe that school should be closed down. A new school should be built, right? So it is important that we get this school back on track so that it can finish, so that the student can have the utilization of that school. That school was conceptualized since under the coalition in 2018, and because of COVID, that school could not have been executed. By now, it should have been finished in 2022. But because of all those activities that occur, election, COVID, and all that, the school was stalled, and then it now brought back onto the budget. And we're happy that this government would have seen it fit to continue what would have started under the coalition. However, we want to see the school be built in specification. Over the last couple of months, we have seen a number of things has been changing on the go, in which one council raised the point that we can see change of materials is happening. It means that change of specification, all these things, and these reports have not been coming to council, right? So, chairman would have committed today that going forward we will do daily visit as councillors to the site whereby we can update the people of Region 10 what is going on, so they can be fed with accurate information, because there's a lot of information floating out there. But we, the people, we, the representative of the people, will bring those accurate information to the people so that they can be apprised of what is going on concerning that project. Of course, there are a lot of other projects that is going on within the region. We monitor them keenly. We're raising different issues concerning roads. We see roads that was built under the coalition, for instance, in Victory Valley. We see road build there since in 2018. They're starting up strong. We see road build in West Watuco, and 15 days after it broke up, right? So these are some of the things that we are monitoring. We are highlighting them so that the administration can pull these contractors up. We're forcing them to activate those policy whereby they can blacklist persons. I mean, there's nothing there where they can blacklist persons at the moment, but we are hoping that some side policies can be put in place. The person
Excellent.
can be blacklisted when they are not executing projects according to specification, according to timeline, and according to the standard that is expected by the people of Linden. Right? We, as I said before, we're peaceful people, we're resilient people, and we expect that the best be done here. Of course, we see a lot of discrimination. We see $800 million in roads have been doled out into Region 10, which person say kudos, but then we see about 6 billion roll out in Region 6, and then we are a little bigger. Like
It's fine change. It's fine change.
right? This 800 million is fine change, sprinkling.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
While a lot of people is suffering from roads, this road does not be highlighted. Right? That does be in all the little nooks and crannies, checking out all those roads that really need. For me, that's a big road hole in front of my road. I believe being one of the vocal councillor on the council, probably there's a reason why my role is not in. But I'm
You gotta
continuing
keep on talking.
I'm
Keep
continuing
on
to speak
speaking.
well for the
Yeah.
people. I'm there, I'm elected by the people.
Yeah.
I'm for the people. Nobody can compromise me. I always maintain that wherever I go, I talk that publicly.
Yeah.
When my term is finished, I must be able to say, okay, I've done my best. I've represented the people, whether what I've represented they get it or not. The main fact that I'm on the ground representing the people, highlighting their issues, bring it to the council. And that is the key focus for me as a councillor as we move forward.
Excellent. Finally, Mark, what's happening with the Linden Utility Company? Folks want to know what's happening with the Linden. That's one of the things we're going to check out as we're on the ground here.
Well, the Linden Deal Company hasn't went on the ground as yet. So
Mhm.
far, from the initial stage I was there, and some of the contention is that they need to have an AGM. I know that they had a 6 months period whereby the IMC that was installed by the CDO was supposed to bring normalcy to whatever is going on so that we can have to the books, so that we can have that AMG, whereby we can have a new board in place. Right now, we see a new IMC with a new 6 months lease to put those things in place. But the bone of contention, which I've been receiving from my constituents, is that why continue to put one person on that board who was there before? And I was told that person is Handy, who is probably aligned to the governing party, right? If we're gonna move forward and we want to put neutral person there to bring some sort of normalcy to the utility company, well then put bare normal person. Don't put somebody that is aligned to the party, aligned to the AFC, aligned to the PPP, aligned to the PNC. Put neutral person. Of course, I see three permanent lawyer in Mr. Collins Bavigans, Lesson Charles, and Jan Desi. Welcome. Which I welcome those three lawyers that are gonna uh, help to solve those problems. I don't,
Hopefully.
I don't
Hopefully.
know the other two persons, but I saw Mr. Handy name is there again, and that is a disrespectful move to me for the people of Region 10 because the people is protesting that you need to move this man. Why put back this man here? Then you make the people a fool.
Well, I'm going to be asking Regional Chairman if Mr. Henry is the Baku, is the PPP Baku.
I don't know the man
Well,
personally.
the boss have quoted me.
I don't know the man personally. Let me say that on record. I don't know the man personally. I have no bones with the man. But if my constituency is saying they don't want the man there, then I have to speak on behalf of my constituents.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
I represent the people. I represent one of the largest block of people within Region 10, which is Block 22, Bruce Rock, Brownsville, and Abbeville, and all this area, right? Which will account to about 10,000 to 12,000 people within Region 10. We can have about 25,000 voting people. So I want to say that one of the largest blocks. So if my constituency is speaking to me like, look, we're not comfortable with this man here. I got to speak out also.
Correct.
I'm
Correct.
on behalf of them.
Correct.
That this man, I want to say for the record, I have nothing. I don't know the man personally. I have nothing against the man. But if the people are saying that you were part of the board that was part of the problem, then you should not be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, you should recuse yourself from that position.
Yeah.
And if you're not recusing yourself from that position, well, then you're there with an ulterior motive, right? If the constituency that don't want me as a councillor, well, then why would I want to fight to be a councillor? I should recuse myself. The people want a new representative. And if you're not representing the interests of the people and the people say they don't want you there, then you should recuse yourself. Even though the government or the city or whoever is putting you there say, well, look, in the interest of all fairness, I see the people have some problem with me. I don't want to be part of the problem. I want to see a peaceful resolution. I will recuse myself as a respectable individual within the community. Well, if you want to be there, then some problem. Something got to be up. I was watching the live. I see people talk about Curry, Aymar, and all these different stuff.
You're well fed there. You're well fed there.
Let me say that.
Mark, thank you for your time. I think I see the regional chairman has come in, and since I'm in his tongue, let me decrease so he can increase. You know, you see it. Thanks very much. Let me take this out. Great. Folks, that was Councillor Mark Gorin, and I want to know where the regional chairman wants to sit down. It's his office, and we want to give him the best view. And folks, we're privileged to have with us today the regional chairman, the one and only I don't think there's another like him.
Okay.
Regional Chairman Deron Adams of the region number 10, a quite expansive region, folks. We told you guys as we came in, we saw lots happening, and he got lots of answer for this afternoon. What's happening in this place? A lot of activities. I hope you know all that's happening on the highway coming in, and lots of the other places. I saw some students protesting at Huru and Araima and all manner of things. Regional Chairman, welcome.
Thank you for having me,
And
Jared.
and thanks for spending this time with us. I know you got a statutory meeting on, so you want to come mind your business a little here in Region 10 and then get out your face as quickly as possible. How are you doing, sir?
Well, I'm good. Of course, today is our statutory meeting. We were tracking a number of projects in the region. I must say I'm not happy with a lot that is happening, but we have to continue to, of course, to make the representation for our people so that we can have a hold the administration accountable and, of course, be able to ensure that the resources rightfully that belong to the people of the region are allocated in a fair and in a transparent manner.
Mr. Regional Chairman, let us start with this Bamia Secondary School, because we understand that this has been an area of contention since this contract was awarded. That people felt that these folks were not knowledgeable about construction. They had no real experience in construction, but yet they were being awarded a contract. And even though they themselves, said it was a small contract and they had some experience and all of that stuff, it seems that time has proven the people right. I mean, what are your own thoughts on this matter? It seems as a contract, the construction of the Bamia Secondary School, is it, has stalled. Talk to us about that.
So very early, and when we got into office, of course, in reviewing a lot of the work that the previous government had put in place for completion, we recognized that there were some projects that, because of COVID and because of other issues, in this case with the Bamia in 2018, while it was proposed to be constructed, there was an issue with the consultant. It had to go back to tender. And then eventually, of course, COVID came. A lot of the other areas where the focus was turned to areas like the Christianberg Primary School and focusing on upgrading the health facilities across the region because of COVID. And so when we got into office, we were happy that we were able to look through the records, and we made representation for the Bamia Primary School to be placed back on the agenda. When the contract was awarded, we registered our concern. So we said, that we would have wished that a more experienced contractor would have been awarded the contract. The officials came up. We said that we are willing to work with them. The consultant was given a mandate that he would have had to be reporting to the council and to our folks here. And we started off and we said, what, we will support the project. We're not happy with how the tender process went, but we will support the project. It's a school in matters of education and health. I often say to people that there is no politics for me. We make representation, whichever side of the aisle you belong to. And so we started, we met with them at the council statutory meeting. They came in. That's the principles of statement investment. The consultant from ENA was there. He committed that they would have monthly site visit, monthly reports that would filter up to the council so that councillors can be able to monitor the project to ensure that the integrity of it is preserved and that we get value for money. And so I have been monitoring it as chair of the finance committee as well, the PSIP that monitors capital projects. And what I became concerned about is that when I checked the percentage at where we were at in October, it's 44%, which means that if work on the ground is not expedited, possibly if you do not justify how you're going to spend these monies, you can see monies being returned to the coffers,
Yeah, yeah.
consolidated fund, and you can be accused of sending back money. Now, as I said, we won the project. The fact that 69 million has been awarded or given to the contractor and he has not been able to complete the foundation speaks volume. For 69 million, you should not be backfilling the foundation stage at that stage. At least we're expecting to see the foundation columns up and work progressing. And so we have been tracking this for the past 2 months. At statutory, we were just told that work will commence tomorrow. And so I have.
So has work effectively been installed? I saw one report in which statement principals are saying that the work have not been stopped, they've been scaled back.
Well, if you scale back, at least I expect that workers will still be on site. So I visited the site, and there was only the manager, I think, there in the person of Akani Blair, and he registered his concerns because he said he didn't know what was happening. And I was like, okay then, and that there's video footage because we spoke to him, and he registered his concerns as well. I asked if what could possibly have caused it. Is it inflation? But then when you look at all the other projects that were awarded in the region, everybody else is completing the project. The only project that is hemorrhaging at this magnitude happens to be the Bamia Primary School. Right? There are other persons who are maybe at 60%, 70% in terms of capital work. This is the only project that is at about 33%, which is a most unfortunate position. However, rest assured that we will identify. We have been visiting other schools like Amelia's Ward Primary, the Multilateral School, the Kokwani Primary School, and we are going to make a request for those monies to now be approved to upgrade those schools, right? And that's the least we can do as elected officials to identify. We have a document that we have been recording all of the defects in the schools across the region, and so we are going to, of course, advise that these monies be appropriated to those various institutions. But it's a sad situation that the project is not going as planned. And if you look at the other projects that was given to affiliates of the very organization, like the houses that are being built in Emilio's ward, everybody else that was awarded a project managed to put on their roof and they were able to hand over their building and so on. Maybe it's being inspected by the people at housing. But the affiliates and principals that are affiliated to this very company can't manage to get the roof on their building. So everybody else would have finished their project. But again, in this instance, moving away from education, when matters relating to the housing sector is concerned, we're seeing that they're hemorrhaging there as well. I don't want to accuse these people of anything. That is why we wrote asking the administration who works on behalf of the council to investigate. And what I can say going forward is that we, while we had proposed that timelines be set, that a reporting format be discussed at the Works Committee, none of this was being had. In fact, the ENA, who we invited to sitting at the Works Committee to provide updates, they work on behalf of the council. A lot of the information is somewhat being locked away. And so, as proactive as we are as councillors, we are oftentimes on the ground, in the fields. We visited these sites, and I must say that I'm disappointed with the pace at which that particular school is going. And I hope that the Ministry of Local Government will, of course, call them in and set deadlines and timelines so that this project can be constructed in keeping with the scope of works, that they do not attempt to cut corners and compromise the entire project, but we need to be more vigilant now more than ever before.
There was promised a meeting with the Minister of Local Government and Statement Investment, the principals there on what's happening at BAMU. The minister didn't seem to know what's happening. This is the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, the Minister of Education, Priya Madhachan, didn't seem to know what was happening with the school being stalled. Do you get a sense from your own investigations that that meeting took place between statement and the minister?
Well, I will say this. The very fact that the contract was signed between the minister and statement and the REO was in that meeting tells me that they would have shared contact information, that they have avenues and means where they can get in contact with these people. But apparently, it's different strokes for different folks. If you signed a $300+ million contract and you are not in contact with the persons who are executing this contract, then something must be wrong. The only people who they have attempted to lock out from this project is the chairman of the Works Committee, who by right should be signing off on projects before payment comes. She has never signed off on one project within 2 years. And so contractors are paid even when you flag a project and it's collapsing, like the drain in Silvertongue and schools in the Demerara River at Malali and health centers that are built and are not in keeping with the scope or to the standard. These people are paid their monies and everything goes on as normal. And so I noticed that the officials who are tasked with building this school they have now gone into tourism at the Blue Lake. So it seems as though this project will be dropped, and we are now looking at a new way of making money at the Blue Lake, bringing in the speedboats and have regatta and everything. But no one seems to want to answer the question as it relates to education delivery, and that should be concerning.
Very, very much so. It's sad to see where the project is because the company, even with the initial pushback, said that they were competent, they had the requisite people on board who could deliver on this project. And then it seems as though the people were right in the end because the project, for all intents and purposes, has been stalled. And that's tremendously sad.
Yeah. So what I can say to you coming out from the statutory meeting, we have said to them that from tomorrow, if not today, we might go up. Every day we will continue to track this project and monitor it. They said by tomorrow equipment will be back on site and they will be doing an assessment. We've asked for that report to be forwarded to the committee and by extension copied to the office of the regional chairman so that we can be apprised and be able to speak accurately on the work going forward as well. As it is right now, we did our site visits. The REO was also on site. The engineers were on site. ENA, I understand, wrote a letter. We were trying to get that letter to be read into statutory so that the consultant can say to us what are the challenges that these people are experiencing. That letter was withheld. And so we're hoping that going forward, we will continue to ensure that our people are on the ground monitoring it. Whether it's the residents of Amelia's ward who will benefit from it, the PTA who will benefit from it, the councillors, the elected officials, we will all together apply the necessary pressure to ensure that we get value for money.
Excellent. The other problem you have on your doorstep, I was quizzing Councillor Margold earlier on, is what's happening at the utility company. I mean, that seems to be spiraling out of control with each and every passing day. What is the latest with what's happening there?
So, from what I gather, and I want to be clear, the matter is an internal matter right now. The members of the society or the workers of the society are not happy with many of the decisions that have been made by the IMC. They were given a mandate to audit the society, to get the register up to date and compliant for them to hold a AGM and a number of other things, but very specific. What we are doing and what I'm hearing from the videos that I've been seeing is that they are attempting, or they have already shifted from the mandate that they have been given and attempting to fire, attempting to demote, attempting to slash people's salary, and so on. And so the matter remains an internal matter with the staff of LUSCSL and the IMC that was installed there. And so I want to allow that process to go through. If it becomes a situation where it spills over and residents are affected, where the lights are being disconnected or something that affects the residents directly on the Wisma shore, then of course I will kick in and of course make the representation. One of the things you have to be careful with, and that is why I have been very careful, while we will never deny making representation to our people, we don't want to be accused of attempting to politicize the society. That is the oldest co-op. The members have an issue with the board that was put there, an IMC of political people who are not serving in their best interests. One name keeps coming out in the person of Courtney Handy. He served on the previous board that has been accused of corruption. I don't understand why he alone was allowed to come back on this board. And I'm saying that in any organization, the relationship between the staff and management and the workers should be one that should be welcoming the environment. If at this stage you were given 6 months to do a specific task, a specific assignment, and within that period you've already created problems, then it is cause for concern. And so I am allowing the process to work for the period, the 6 months that they were given to get the register in order and so on, should have been completed by now. We're being told that they increased their own salaries, the stipend that they were receiving, they're ordering meals, special meals.
Exotic meals.
Yeah, exotic meals, while at the same time targeting those staff. And so if you offend your workers rather than build and create that enabling environment for information and for your workers to respect you and serve you, then you will have exactly, and you will experience exactly what is happening at the moment. And so I'm allowing the workers' voice to be heard through what they are doing. And I ask that the CCDO meet with the workers, listen to them. I think I read that they would have outlined a number of things that they would like for them to achieve with target deadlines, and meet with them and remove all of the political people that are creating problems, so that together this society that has been serving over 4,000 people, I believe it is, on that side of the shore, can continue to do the good work that they have been doing over the years.
How it struck you as astonishing that the very IMC that deposed the last duly elected board is now asking for time. You said they've gone beyond their limit as a board. Yeah. Now they're asking for time. Has it struck you as odd?
Of course, and that is what happens when there is beside what you were advised to do or your mandate. There happens, or I believe that there may be some hidden agenda. And so that is what is happening. If you go there and you are giving specific timelines and deadlines to meet certain things, why is it that 6 months after you were not able to complete that? But you are looking into every other matter that does not concern you or that you were not given the authority to act on. And so there may be, I believe, a hidden agenda, and that is what is being detected day after day by the very employees. And so, it is something that should be of concern. And again, I want to call on the CCDO to put or place competent people. At this point in time, from my view, we need to get to an AGM. Right? If 6 months after you cannot release, or you can't, I think by now, if there were any improprieties or any issues that they would have flagged, it would have already been made public. But allow the workers and allow the process to move forward expeditiously so that they can go to AGM, and the oldest society, I believe, he was told, if not the oldest co-op in the country, or one of the oldest co-op, can get on with the business of serving the people of the Wisma Shore.
Yeah, and you seem very accurate there, Regional Chairman Adams, in terms of getting on with business. The courts seem to favor getting on with business. They've recently told the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, get on with business, get an AGM, get a proper board in there and get on with business. But this administration, this regime seems to like IMCs. You got to, of course, they want the installed there at the public service cooperative credit union. They have this one now at uh, the Linden Utility Cooperative Society Limited. You got an IMC at the West Environment Market Cooperative Society as well. You have another one at the Amalgamated Transport and General Cooperative Credit Union. It seems that once this administration can control by getting elected their own folks, then the next way they go is these IMCs.
Yeah. So we have often been told, and it has been proven, that there is a process of domination and control. So they will. We have seen attempts, and they have done it in the past before the coalition government got into office, and we were able to hold local government election. There was an IMC that was placed there even at the Linden Mayor and Town Council. So it extended even in that regard, and so we must be concerned about it. We will continue to oppose it. The IMC that was installed there was given a period to do specific tasks. It is time they get on with the business and that AGM be held so that the people can elect the people they want. Moving aside from that, even in the two most critical areas in our region, of the board that deals with the health of our people and the board that deals with financing small businesses, 2 years after, has not been constituted in the region. The Linden Enterprise Network Board and the Linden Hospital Complex Board. In the case of the Linden Hospital Complex, we've seen how one man would have created a toxic environment there. The health of our people were compromised in many ways. He made unilateral decisions and deviated from that developmental path that we were accustomed or would have grown accustomed to from 2015 to 2020, where services like dialysis centers were placed there to the benefit of our people. We saw jobs were created under the patient care assistant program, where 60 young people were employed. We saw how many other programs, the eye clinic was established to the benefit of the people of this region. All of these things in those two important organizations, the health of our people and access to loans, have been dismantled, and there is no indication that attempts will be made to put these boards in place. And so we have to keep applying the necessary pressure. In the case of the Linden Enterprise Network, there has been a freeze on access to loans, on the empowering of the agriculture sector, the continuation of the Millie's Hideout Road. And it has caused problems because small businesses who were once given that opportunity to grow and create employment, we have seen how that has been shut down, and that should be of concern to the entire region. But we will continue to expose and educate our people on what is happening. Every other board, whether it's the KUI in Kokwani, was established. The board at LECI, the Linden Electricity Corporation Board, was established. But the board that deals with the health of our people and possibly being able to empower them by giving them loans have been shut down completely.
Very interesting. And this is an administration, a regime that says they're inclusive, and they care about the people, and they want to see everyone empowered. And yet we see something totally contrary. We understand how we have heard this whole thought of an emerging apartheid state, but when you look and you see what's happening there, the conclusion seems to lead in that particular direction. Driving into Region 10, driving into this part of the country, it's amazing to see huge tracts of land being given away and doled out. We've called them the authorities and let us know. Publish your names if you're inclusive and you're transparent and you're accountable. Publish your names of persons you're dividing up this huge expanse of land to. And we yet to see that. Are you concerned about that?
Of course, because what I believe there are attempts to do what is simply called a population shift. We're seeing that many applications from residents of Region 10, whether it's persons who applied along the Rockstone Road or along the Aichuni Road, their application have been stalled. It has been placed on someone's desk, not being processed. But we're seeing other persons who are not registered in Linden applications being expedited through the system, and we're being allocated land to do private development, whatever it is. And that is of concern. And again, it goes back to that apartheid state that I spoke of when I delivered a presentation at the Coffee 250, where when it comes to empowering the people in this region, we're seeing a clear case of the administration of the day not concerned about empowering our people, but delivering as much as possible to the famous term that you often use, friends, families, and favorites. And I am, of course, saddened by it. We will continue to expose it, and of course, let the public be informed of all that is happening in the region.
And we're going to leave it there, Mr. Chairman. We know you got lunch ahead of you. You have a council meeting to get back to another. We want to thank you for your time and for your hard work on the ground, sir.
Thank you, Sherrod, and it's happy to see you in Region 10. You should do this a lot more.
Definitely will. Folks, and we are going to leave it. We're going to leave it there for today. Good to have so many of you joining us on the podcast. We're really grateful to see you, Fitz Gulliver and we're joining you from the diaspora, joining us and talking up plenty. Talking up plenty. I know that John Burns and Dan Gonzalez, Beatrice Selby, all you beautiful, wonderful folks joining us. I see that those are the facts as we have it. We're going to continue to follow and keep you abreast with what's happening with the Barmere Secondary School, what's happening with the Linden Utilities Company, and the other issues the regional chairman so eloquently articulated there. Because, of course, inquiry minds like us, we really want to know. And I really want to commend the regional chairman for the work he has been doing. He has been one of the few regional chairmen across the board who's really in touch with the issues and who is really and truly he has a heart for the people, folks. I know it's easy to say why this isn't being done or why that isn't being done, but that's just the half of it. He's been working exceptionally hard from the flooding here in Kokwani and the riverine areas. Recently, I think we had 2 or 3 floods in the last three years, major floods. 2. He's been on the ground fighting the good fight. Trying to keep abreast with these various projects that are happening and keep the administration really truly accountable. And they don't like that, They don't like that. If they can install an IMC at the regional level, they'll do it. They'll do it. Oh, yeah, at the Barmere Primary School. Thank you, folks. You see the folks on the ground here sharp. The Barmere, it's installed. That's what we do. It's installed. But good to see you, Marlon Thomas. I'm going to check out what's happening at the Linden Utilities there and Patricia Graves-Zandy. Thank you, folks, for joining us. We're going to, if I end this program before we touch the 1 hour mark, some folks are going to be vexed with us. Like Dorita got that little thing there. The 2 seconds out, wait for the hour. But it's a beautiful day in Linden, folks, and you come back home, go on the little US with you, all the pounds and so on. Come to Linden and spend some of that money. It's beautiful here. But patronize some of the businesses. I'm looking across the Demerara River here over to Wismar. And it looks beautiful. But I'm in Mackenzie, folks. I was born here at Mackenzie Hospital. I don't come home funny. I come home. See, I don't ask me when I leave and when I go back. Don't let it bother you. Don't let it detain you. Thank you to see you, and Nicola, thank you all for joining us. And we are really, really privileged to have such a beautiful audience in you folks, and we're going to continue to keep our hands on the pulse of all things Linden. Please and thank you. That will do us at this end, folks. Continue to share the live, smash that emoji button, folks, and let me go down the road. Partner with us as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, folks. Have a great day.